Greetings.
Joey's Castle is truly one of the games ever made. It's a long, tedious, torturous endeavour that, under some circumstances, might even produce a small shred of dopamine before ripping it back away from you. I saw this game on stream and thought, this game is dog shit. I can do better. And by better, I mean exponentially worse. Introducing the all-new Fecal Funny themed board game.
Ultimate God Murder 5 Trillion.
The spiritual predecessor to Joey's Castle. The objective of Ultimate God Murder 5 Trillion is ultimately to murder God. God resides in the center of the board on the tile clearly named Fight God. Your goal is to get to God before the other players and beat the fuck out of him. This game supports up to 4 players who are each fighting to deal the finishing blow to God. But who exactly is God? I don't know, you get to choose. In this game, there are 5 different potential gods which can be placed at the center at the start of the game. This is not one board game, but more like 5 board games wearing a trench coat, because depending on which god you're fighting, the entire game changes. The easiest god to fight is the sun, because, worst case scenario, it only sets the entire board on fire and gives you cancer. Nintendo is the second easiest god, sending Nintendo lawyers to reclaim their intellectual property and, if you're really unlucky, deploying Reggie. Vargfren is like the medium difficulty, and wasn't originally going to be in the game, but he drew his own cards and asked me really nicely, so I let him in. His primary mechanic is making you drink the jungle juice. Twitch is the second hardest god because it keeps adding arbitrary new rules to the game and is the only god that can actually cost you real life money to play against. Twitch also has probably my favourite ability in the game. You see, gods in this game have 10 abilities each that they use at random periodically. This giant fuck-off timer at the top of the board indicates how long you have until God's wrath descends upon all players. The closer you get to God on the board, the faster this timer decreases. Let's read one of Twitch's abilities together, shall we? Roll a dice to select a random player. Those players selected must go onto any stream on Twitch currently live under the Pools, Hot Tubs and Beaches category, and the player has 5 minutes to get that streamer to say their username out loud. Otherwise, you die. And yes, if you're unlucky enough and are in the wrong place at the wrong time, this can potentially happen every single turn. This is nothing, however, compared to the final god who is more difficult than all 4 others combined. The Blorhai, the Blahage! You see, every single god also has a passive ability that is always active. Do you want to know what the Blahage's passive, permanent, game-altering ability is? It forcibly changes the name and gender of every single player and instantly kills anyone who fucks up someone else's name. Yes, as you are no doubt wondering, this is incredibly balanced and fun. What you might be more interested in though is what the fuck the IKEA shark has to do with changing your name. The answer? Don't worry about it. Anyways, the gods are all well and good, but how do we kill them? I'll tell you how. You build a party. In this game, each player has a main character. Characters have ability slots that can be filled with any of the 237 different ability cards in this game that range from balanced to very balanced. If you're lucky, you might even get 1 or 2 of the 71 nuclear death moves, which, if you can't tell from the name, are likely going to kill everything on the board. This includes you too, as even getting a nuclear death move has a 50% chance to give you a terminal brain tumour. More important than your character's ability slots are your character's party slots. That's right, you and your team of 3 additional badasses randomly selected from the 367 different custom-made creature cards in this game are going to fuck up God. However, God is not the only thing you are fighting. Victory goes to the last hit after all, which means you'll be hunting and killing the other players as well as neutral monsters that guard the path to God. These neutral monsters are drawn from the very same creature pool as the players and, depending on their level, can get their own abilities as well, including nuclear death moves. Death is inevitable, but never fear, because death is not the end, it's the beginning. In Joey's Castle, when you die, you roll to see if you go to heaven, hell, or survive. This is a very interesting system, so I made it worse. In Ultimate God Murder 5 Trillion, when you die, you roll a dice to see which samsaric realm of reincarnation you are reincarnated into. only letting you leave once you meet the conditions required by any of the 6 samsaric realms of reincarnation. Long story short, this game is probably the most obnoxious piece of shit ever crafted by the human mind. Everything I've said in this video is merely the fundamental basics required to understand how the game functions. If I went into detail about everything that is possible in this game, this video would be an hour long. So here are some rapid-fire nuggets of snusk without any context to pique your interest, as it were. Do drugs. Buy items from the only trusted retailer in Sweden. Change the music currently playing, because in this game, the music isn't just for ambience, it has an actual tangible effect on the game. Get pregnant. Get unpregnant. Repent. Drink the jungle juice, which may or not contain liquid diarrhea, semen, snusk juice, and petrol. Go to Brazil. Forget things, begin mogging, and utilize 1 or 2 of the very small number of tokens this game has, including such things as horny, banana peel, siege tank, curfews, auto turrets, quicksand, landmines, new manually placeable tiles, and summoning a fucking singularity. If any of these things sound like your idea of fun, what the fuck is wrong with you? Clearly, natural selection has not been doing its job. Kayfabe off, I did work very hard on this over the last few months. However, the act of me creating something doesn't entitle me to your time playing it. If you would like to play it, then by all means hit me up and bring 3 of your baddest, baldest bitches with you for the worst gaming experience of your life. If you don't want to play it, good. But also, since I don't want all that time I spent making these dogshit cards to go to waste, I'll probably make a follow-up video that goes over everything in the game. It wouldn't necessarily be something for you to show on stream due to its insane duration, but it might be an interesting watch off stream if you felt like it. Anyways, that's everything. You can go now. Piss off.